On last night's episode of Smackdown, Michael Cole announced that WWE will be doing another superstar shake-up, a WWE draft, if you will, where superstars will be able to be traded among shows, champions, commentators, ring announcers, and everyone is up for grabs to go into the new era on Netflix. So if WWE really do want to do a shake-up, for me they need to start looking at the world champions straight away, like both Gunther and Cody Rhodes could do with fresh and new challenges. So my first drafts would be to swap the champions, put Cody Rhodes full-time on Raw and put Gunther full-time on Smackdown. You know, the potential straight away for Gunther versus Roman Reigns would be exciting. And on the other hand, you can have Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, or once again Seth Rollins, even Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. You know, there's so many different new matchups that they can do by changing just their world champions from one brand to the next. Other guys that they could look at, they could change the mid-card champions, maybe, you know, Nakamura just become the new United States champion. Even the tag divisions, you know, the tag divisions have been lacking for years now in WWE. So we could see some switch-ups in the tag teams. You know, DIY have just won the WWE Tag Team Championships. They could well go over to Raw. And you could have the Judgment Day coming over to SmackDown. You know, there's so much potential, and hopefully if WWE are going to go about this the right way, they should do a full shake-up and have a lot of guys changing over. Not all, because otherwise you're just going to essentially have Raw be SmackDown, SmackDown be Raw, and that's obviously not the idea. But, you know, they should do so many guys, and then NXT's involved as well, so we could see some guys from NXT jumping up to either Raw or SmackDown, or potentially if there's any guys that aren't really being used, or girls that aren't being used properly, or, you know, as of late, they could easily drop down to NXT and find their way back up again. You know, we've seen it with Finn Balor's done it before. Baron Corbin, unfortunately, you know, he was released, but his resurgence in NXT was great. Dijak's another one, you know, unfortunately was released, but, you know, these guys went down to NXT and built themselves back up again for the main roster. So I don't see why WWE couldn't do that again with some guys that aren't being used on TV as much. You know, they're gonna have 3 hours back of Raw when it goes to Netflix, so there will be potential to have more matches on the main roster than what they do currently, with it just being the 2 hours. But at the same time, as when you go to the pay-per-views and they're only doing 5-match pay-per-views or 6 at a push, you know, not everyone can get on the pay-per-view card, so it makes you think, well, is there a few people that maybe could drop down and improve the NXT product? You know, they have enjoyed putting legends down in NXT lately, you know, with Bully Ray showing up there, and Eric Bischoff's come in as well. You know, we've seen other wrestlers like Randy Orton and stuff in the past, CM Punk being on NXT. Obviously, don't expect any of them big guys to go down, but, you know, some maybe mid-card guys that need to find their feet again can go down to NXT, maybe do a year there, plus it'll put better views to NXT as well. I also think that, you know, for me personally, I'd put the championship on Kevin Owens at Saturday Night Main Event, which I don't think they're going to do. They want Cody to be the guy going into WrestleMania, it seems. But Kevin Owens is WWE champion on Raw. It's quite exciting for me, so that's where I'd head with that. Be interesting to see if they do factions as a whole. I'd expect them to do tag teams as a whole, really. Be interesting to see if they do factions as a whole. Will the Bloodline go as a full faction? I mean, you've got 2 different sets of Bloodline, haven't you? Could we have Solo's Bloodline on Raw and Roman's Bloodline on SmackDown? Could the Judgment Day be split up? You know, Judgment Day fell flat on its arse over the last few weeks, so Again, there's so much potential. Look at the women's side of things. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan is absolute stale as hell. It's boring now. It's beyond boring. I don't know many fans that are still into that storyline. So switch it up, throw one on Raw, one on SmackDown, and then we don't have to see them face off yet again for the title. It's just really not needed. So that's what I'd do there as well. I would split up Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, especially. That'd be my first thing to do with the women's division, is split them two, one on one brand, one on the other. It also depends whether or not, the last time they done like a draft, we've seen how many wrestlers jump from one show to the next since that. I feel like it's time we had a proper roster split like what we had back in the day. Have Raw exclusive wrestlers, SmackDown exclusive wrestlers, NXT exclusive wrestlers, and then maybe they come together at the pay-per-views if they want to do joint pay-per-views, do like 6 matches, 3 each, or they could have a pay-per-view each like what they used to do back in 2004, 2005 times, where like Raw would have so many pay-per-views, SmackDown would have so many pay-per-views, and then obviously the big four, they combine between them as Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. But there is so much potential there for WWE if they want to get this right. They need to think big, and my first start would be swap Cody and Gunther's brands and keep them exclusive as well. Don't have people jumping ship. But that is my thoughts on what I would do with the latest Superstar shake-up. This is going to be happening, according to Michael Cole, in the very foreseeable future, going in to get everything prepared for when they debut on Netflix. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Superstar shake-ups. Think it's a good idea, a bad idea? And let me know some predictions. Who do you think will be on Raw? Who do you think will be on SmackDown? Who do you think will be on NXT? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the wrestling group today.